from a strategic standpoint, they probably only have a few options.
Well, they have.
Believe the Hype has put up a 5, a 4, and a
6.
6, so you're looking at 15. They've got about 8
Oh, they've got quite a
to
few options
work with.
there.
They've got
13 on Make It Work. They have 13 points total.
So both of them are actually probably still got quite a bit of flexibility.
Yeah.
That's
well,
really good because sometimes teams end up in a situation where they play it too close. They start out the session, where they're already right around 23 with their lowest players.
Right.
And if anybody gets better, and with coaching, that was how I always got better.
Right.
Was just by the times when I would actually pay attention to my coach and ask questions afterwards.
Right.
well, it's going to get real interesting here as I get handed the update on who each team's putting up. So, Believe the Hype, who currently leads 6-2, is putting up Gina Payne, who's a skill level 2, has only played one match thus far. She's going to have the tough task of going against Charles Bruno, who's a skill level 6.
Whoa.
So, the thing though for her is she's only going to need to get 2 games to his 6. So, an early 8, a scratch on the 8, suddenly she's on the hill. So we'll see. Again, it looks like she's only played one match thus far, so it'll be interesting to see how her experience, or her lack of in this case, comes into play in this kind of tough environment of spectators and stream and all that. So,
And she looks kind of young.
yeah, she does.
But you never know.
So
She
is
might
this-
have a lot more experience.
But you know
in
what, though,
tournaments, but
Renee, you mentioned before, first of all, if she can get 1 point,
that's all it takes.
and then the next game they get 1 point, even if they don't win another match,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to put them at 8.
Mm-hmm.
And with somebody like her, even let's say she is at week 2, she
Mhm.
just started playing and just got enough matches here. That's a possibility. She may be very strong too. Like you said, there's a big ladder
Could be
there.
either
But
way.
either way, we had one of our Myrtle Beach teams had a really good 6. He's a great guy, great player, and kind of took a chance in one of the racks against a 2. And I see this all the time. And lost his patience a little bit and had an early 8.
Oh yeah.
And that cost quite a bit.
It always amazed me. 2s can get lucky.
Of
I can
course.
remember some of the luckiest
Of
stuff
course.
happening to me when
It's
I
part
was
of
a
the
2,
game.
and I used to frustrate the heck out of higher skill players
Yeah.
because they were used to the games going a lot faster,
Yeah.
and their opponents clearing some of the stuff out of their way,
Right.
and 2s don't generally help you that way.
Right. It's true.
So again,
True.
this is Gina Payne at the table for the team from Evansville, Indiana, Believe the Hype. And if you look at their roster, we kind of talked a little bit about this and what they still had left. So they were at 15. By putting Gina up here, we put them at 17. Means they can put up one of their 2 6s who are still left on the roster, potentially in a 5th match. So, little surprised they're not going for it here, or
You know what? Like I said,
and either way, with one of they were going to play either 6 here and then a 2 later, or
here's
a 2
the
later
deal.
and a 6
What
now.
what I'm learning, I've already learned it, but then it's kind of as reinforced here, is that teams that have made it this far in the tournament, and probably everyone out there who's a team captain, know more than I do as far as how to put up next.
Yeah, we
So
talked a
I
little bit
can
about the
second guess
strategy
it.
of how they do it.
You
Well,
know,
the one of the interesting things here, though, too, is with the 3-point scoring. Again, she's a 2. She wins 1 game here, she secures at least a point.
but see,
For her team.
what I'm guessing is that, and what I'm guessing is that Make It Work put up first, would be my guess. So they put up Jeanna after that. And then that way, with the numbers, next time they can put up their 6, and then Make It Work has to put up maybe a 4, possibly a 5. So, I'm learning as I go along. It's taken me 7 years to get to that smart. So how these guys do it, it's just amazing. I mean, how important it is to kind of play, especially on a local basis where you play the same people over and over. So you got to now match people who feel comfortable against other people.
Mhm.
Boy, what a situation for for Gina here, who is a skill level 2, who maybe, you know, has not played a lot of pool. Again, now on the finals table in a $25,000 championship match being streamed to thousands of people worldwide. That's got to be pretty overwhelming. So we'll be curious to see how she handles that pressure.
You bet.
Again, she only has to get to 2, and if she was just to get to 1, that would put her team up at least an additional point, as they already lead 6-2.
All right, that'll work. Gives him a couple of options here. So 3 ball goes in the corner, no problem, by the 8 there.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is Charles Bruno at the table for Make It Work, a team from Louisiana. He's a skill level 6.
Does that get him to... No, I don't think he can still see the 5's going to...
He's got the 7 there. 7 is good.
But how's he going to get over on the 5? Oh,
Just-
well, nope,
well,
nope, that
I'd say
didn't do
just
it.
draw it,
And
but
again,
not that
he's-
much.
Well, what's interesting, he's moving very quickly.
He is
he's
fast.
not taking much time, which we appreciate, right? We like to see the match continue to flow, but he might have got a little ahead of himself there. Looks like Charles and his son Jeremy both play on this Make It Work team, so father and son, and it looks like Charles is actually Amanda, who won a little bit earlier's uncle. So some
Now you're really
family and
getting
Wow.
confusing.
family
Yeah,
and friend
that's great.
connections, which
Yeah.
we see a lot. I always like to kind of find out who, you know, how they know each other and that kind of thing. So again, now you've got Gina Payne at the table for the Evansville team. Believe the Hype. Gina, skill level 2. She pockets the 13 ball. Alright. Apologize for some of the dead air there momentarily. We're adjusting here in the broadcast booth, which is quite small.
Cozy.
Cozy, that's a better way to look at it, right?
Cozy.
Positive way to frame it. Again, this is Charles Bruno at the table. Charles, skill level 6. And from what we've seen thus far, he likes to operate very quickly.
He definitely shows a lot more confidence and speed at the table than the last match.
Pockets the 5 ball there. Now turn his attention to the 6 ball, which he fires into the corner. Comes back around. Appears to have a straight-in shot on the 1 ball, which he makes again with ease. And he'll very quickly here now be on the 8 ball. He's going to grab his pocket marker. He's going to mark the side pocket. And I suspect momentarily will be up 1-0 in what for him is a race to 6. Has no problem with the 8 ball.
Nice shot. Made a lot
As
of
the
people.
cue ball made its way down to the far pocket there, but held on. So
A lot of
Sean
people
is
in
on the
audience.
board. I'm sorry, Charles is on the board first for his team. Make It Work. Of course, his team looking for him to come up big here, trailing 6-2. Now in the 4th overall match in the finals of the 8-ball World Pool Championships from here in Las Vegas, here at the Westgate Resort and Casino. Kind of tough to see it all, you know, we worked so hard to get it all up and running, and, you know, I was talking to Ava earlier, so you come down on the last day, and it's just kind of all starts to fade away. You know, there's
It's
one room left, and
it's
there's
al-
less people.
it's also it almost seems very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
I mean, I know all of these players and teams work very hard to get to this point.
Right.
But yeah, it's almost like you really would love to fill the whole big room.
Yeah. So we're always obviously excited to go home to our families, but it's always kind of sad to see it come to a conclusion. But by all accounts, seems like it's going to be another very successful tournament. So, seen a lot of great sportsmanship this week. Ava and I were talking earlier. I was on our Facebook page earlier today or last night, and I saw some of the teams that had competed with our Japanese team. The Japanese teams are always very popular here.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of interest in them just because they come from such a far distance. Obviously, there's a little bit of a language barrier, but I saw some photos of a team that I believe was actually eliminated by the Japanese team, but they wanted their picture with them. And
Oh yeah.
so really cool to see nice acts of sportsmanship like that. Of course, I want to mention our Sportsmanship Award winners here for this particular event. They were from Hilliard, Ohio, the team of Controlled Chaos. So we awarded them a little bit earlier today with their sportsmanship trophies. We obviously take sportsmanship very seriously, and good sportsmanship just adds to the overall positive, outlook of the event. You're seeing Gina Payne at the table here for the team Believe the Hype, Evansville, Indiana.
Be interesting to see where he goes with all of this. He seems to be taking a little bit more time than he had on the last rack.
Yeah, maybe not as the pattern not as obvious to him as it maybe was
that's
prior.
true.
But
You and I definitely don't look at the table the same way Ava does.
Right, Ava or even Charles here again, who's a skill level 6, so very capable shot here at the table. But also understanding that Gina, being a skill level 2, needs just one game.
One game will get her to the hill.
Right, which would
and that'll
secure
get her
a point for her
point.
team, who is already leading 6-2. So he puts the 2 ball in the corner pocket, brings the cue ball back middle of the table. Looks like he's gonna apparently we scared some folks when they didn't hear us for a few minutes, but
Well, when I
we're
was
alive and well here.
when I was watching upstairs, I couldn't figure out what happened when the players took the break.
Yeah.
And then somehow or another, I had a hard time finding my picture back when y'all came back.
Yeah.
Luckily, I knew how to text some of our staff to harass them to get them to help me get back on. Sometimes I'm very technologically challenged.
Well, it's interesting too because earlier in the week we were streaming through the YouTube channel, and we kind of changed directions later in the week, and now we've been broadcasting through the Facebook Live feature, which seems to reach people a little more easily, but there are some technical challenges that go with that. So, but our production team has been really great at kind of figuring out those challenges. Of course, Greg and Steve and Becky and Kevin, all the folks working behind the scenes to bring you folks the stream. Of course, those of us that just jump on the headsets here, we've got the easy job. We just get to sit back and watch and talk about what we're seeing, and they're making sure it's working, which is always the really big part of the challenge. So we appreciate all their hard work. Nice crowd here still for the final match.
Very nice crowd.
I think for each of the finals here this year, we've had pretty much a full room, which is nice considering all the other things there are to do here in Las Vegas. You know, they could be out and about, and I'm sure they will be later tonight, but for now they want to see how this thing finishes up, as do we. Again, this is Gina Payne at the table, the team from Evansville. She's sizing up her shot. Looks like she's content to make an attempt on the 9 ball in the side pocket. As she does that, we're going to welcome Ava back to the booth here, our very cozy, as Renee put it, broadcast booth. Getting some questions here about who we are here in the broadcast booth. Of course, you know the famous voice of the striking Viking. That Swedish accent is can't be replicated. Of course, I'm Jason Bowman. I'm the marketing director for APA, and I'm joined by Renee Lyle, APA president. So earlier today we had Tom Rossman, Dr. Q, as a lot of folks know him, here in the commentary booth, and we've had other guests throughout the week. I know earlier this week we had Lee yesterday. Earlier this week we had Jeanette was here. Florian Kohler obviously stopped by. We had APA founder Terry Bell at one point earlier in the week. So had a lot of folks in and out, and again, yeah, we understand it's kind of hard to keep up with who's who. But currently, again, we've got Ava and Renee, and I'm Jason, and we're pleased to be bringing you live coverage of the APA World Pool Championships, the 5th and final championship of this outstanding 10-day event.
And a great opportunity here for Charles to take this game. Well fought here, though, by both players in this rack. But 6 is open, 5 is open.
He seems to be taking a lot more time this time.
Yeah, he started very, very quickly. You're right.
Well, you saw that scratch earlier on, and I wonder if that kind of made him decide to slow down a little bit and take his time. And
yeah, I think a lot of times what happens too is that she only needs to get 2, he needs to get 6, and so he's kind of, you know, trying to hurry up and make 3 racks in one in one rack, but it doesn't work that way. You got to fight for every ball. But I know that a lot of times if I'm playing and I get behind in a match, then you're trying to create too much. You still have to be patient and just one ball at a time inch your way to the win. So put a little low on this.
Whoa.
Oh, he came between them. Nice shot. I thought he was going to draw, you know, punch it into the side cushion and back out.
That sure was pretty.
That worked.
That almost looked like something, part of a trick shot that Tom or Florian would do.
That's right. That force high.
Marks his pocket for the 8 ball in the corner, and he makes it successfully.
Second game.
He now has 2 games, again needing to get 6 before Gina gets 2.
You know, that is what's so great, though. It's interesting having the close-up opportunity to watch this. You know, I've been a pro for many, many years, and then getting involved on this level of actually running a league to where you get to know a lot of the background that you may not be familiar with unless you're playing in the league. What I love is to see a wife or a brother or a mother that they say, come on, you know, I've never held a cue stick. Well, just get in there and you'll be very valuable. We need somebody. And then to see the passion. We had one of our players here, Helen Hebert, her son just forced her to get on the team. She said, well, I don't want to play. I can't play. And she is one of our more passionate players now. They actually made it out here, her team, and she said she had a blast out here, but she really got into the game from kind of being essentially dragged into it originally, and until you try it, you don't realize how much fun this is, regardless of skill level. What a mess this rack turned out to be, huh?
He did pocket a ball in the break, but now he's got a bit of a traffic jam there in the middle half of the table, and middle part of the table near that side pocket.
Talk about having no shot here.
Yuck.
It is nothing for him to make, so just kind of move balls around a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, you were talking about when I started playing in our leagues. It was right after I graduated from college that we were started, or I shouldn't say we. The leagues were starting a ladies' league in our local community. And my mom called me when I was on vacation after graduation and said, I signed us up to play in a ladies' league. And I said, I don't play pool. She said, that's okay. None of us do.
Yeah. Just a great opportunity to go out and have some fun. And who knows, chances are you're going to get the bug anyway.
Oh, my gosh. It was less than a year, and I was playing on 3 teams and just had a wonderful time. Stayed with it for many years. And it led to me eventually coming to work.
Yeah.
So.
And I think what's great about this game is that, I say this to people all the time, if you just play because you love to play, you realize all the time how much more there is to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like a challenge at all and you appreciate the beauty of the game, it's not just about making the balls. You know, you get to the point where you can pocket balls. Like you see Jeanna, she pockets some balls well. But then once you start learning about how to move the cue ball around, then you start learning about patterns, and you can see position play in a whole different way. You're constantly learning all the time. So, and regardless, especially with the APA, that regardless of your skill level, you have equal value to anybody else on the team, which is so great.
Oh, there. Well, and eventually, as you get better, you also start noticing and figuring out where the cue is going to end up.
Right.
Getting some questions about the rosters at this point and what each team can still field in terms of this match. And it looks like for the team of Make It Work, they're now at 19 points, which would mean they're still left only, I believe, one player who's a 4, which would be Jeremy Bruno, should they get to a 5th and final match. Whereas the Believe the Hype team, and again, this is from playing the 2 here, they will be able to throw a 6 or below in the final match.
Right.
So it looks like the only option left at this point, I think, for the Make It Work team will be Jeremy Bruno if they can get to the 5th and final match. Whereas the Evansville team looks like they still have at
a lot
least
more options.
at least 2-3 options, because they could play a 5 as well. So
4, 5,
2
or 6.
6s and 2 6s and a 5 still to play for them. So
they've
always an interesting part of the strategy. So good questions out there in the chat.
And this is a wide open table for Charles here. I would be surprised if he doesn't figure out a way to get this rack. It pays attention a little bit. The 8 ball does go, I believe, in the side pocket just barely, but if not, it goes in the corner pocket.
Well, that's
with
what
no
he was.
problem. So
That's what he was checking out at that point.
you can see it's close. And like I said, even if it doesn't, he's got the corner pocket wide open. He just needs to pay attention here and really play position. Can't say it enough. So many players see that they have, well, I got any of those balls. Well, that's not enough. You need to pick one that you're playing position for. Gonna come up here as long as it's not too firm. Good angle on the 5. Just shoot a stop shot. You got the 7, the 1. Come back out for the 8 in the corner, and he's home. Boy, it's easy from here, isn't it? Running out is not difficult from where we're sitting.
Again, this is Charles Bruno for the Make It Work team at the table currently. Charles, a skill level 6, currently has 2 games.
Again, he's double checking if that 8 ball will pass. But again, you know, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't. All he has to do is come back and play the 8 ball in the corner. So I wonder if he got too far. What do you think? Did he get too far in the 7? No, he can make it.
Not
Doesn't
exactly
seem
what
quite
he.
satisfied with that leave, but
Well, we'll find out now if it goes or not. Well, I guess it does.
It's
gonna
gonna
take
be
a very
tight.
close look at it. He takes a look at the overhead shot too. It's been interesting. Ava and I talked a little bit about it. How having the stream picture up on the wall, you see a lot of the players, especially those that are watching, you know, from the sideline, focusing on the wall versus the actual table.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of a byproduct of being able to see that overhead shot. And what do you think here, Ava?
Yeah,
Oh,
it does.
looks good.
It goes. No problem.
Looks good. Charles Bruno, halfway there. Of course, still needing 3 more games. He is a skill level 6, which means he is racing to 6 against Gina Payne, who's a skill level 2.
And again, what looked like it could be a kind of a cakewalk here at 6 games to 2. if he does manage a 3-0 here, all of a sudden it's a 6-5 match going into the fifth match.
That kind of changes things there.
Exactly.
But, you know, when we were talking about the lineups left and the other team's lineup, I think they've got a lot more flexibility, and I wonder who controls that match. I wonder who puts up next.
Well, you know what's an interesting thing? Regardless of what happens, because Jeremy Bruno is going to definitely be up for team Make It Work. That's a 4. You know, a 4 is not that big of an underdog. They've played the numbers well because you have a 6, a 5, or a 4 left on the other team.
Yeah, but I wonder how, you know, it'll be interesting to see who they decide feels the best.
Yeah.
And that can go out, you know, that they believe can go out there and just kind of clinch it for them.
Right. That was a great break there by Charles, but he did let go of the cue ball. Cue ball scratched. Balls are wide open. Wide open. Not a major issue. The only ball that's a bit of an issue would be the 10 or the 12 here at the bottom of the screen. But it can be made off the 8 ball in the side pocket if that comes up. So 7 ball is laying kind of in a funny spot. And again, when you're skill level 2, you're not looking, okay, I can run out here. If I go here, then here, there. You're not necessarily looking at that. So the choice here is to kind of find a shot that you feel comfortable making. And as you know, right off the break, you have to go behind the line. That's the only time you don't get to put the cue ball anywhere you want. You have to go behind the line. Nice shot.
Nice shot there by Gina.
Can't let you let go of the cue ball a little bit, but with the 1 ball being where it is, that 5 ball is very makeable, even though it's the length of the table, because you can really miss that 5 and still have it go in off the 1 ball.
Well, and I'm not sure she can really see much else, so...
I don't think she's going for the... what is she doing? 2 ball? No.
She just missed the 5. Well, that's why she's a 2.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember when she's got a really strong eye for some shots, but then, yeah.
Hey, I don't know too many people that didn't start out as a 2, so.
Well, she seems very composed. I'm guessing maybe that might have even been some nerves.
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
Well, it's a tough situation. I mean, you know, skill level aside, it's a tough situation here, kind of in this environment with all the stakes on the line and the crowd and everything else. And not to mention she's a 2 playing a 6. So
Right.
And this
there's
is her
that
second
too,
match
right.
in the tournament.
Right, second time she's played all tournament. So, but wow, what a situation for her.
But I tell you what, if there was a way for her to get even 1 game, would be huge.
Well, and that's huge for her opponent.
Yeah, he needs to 3-0 here, because if she does get a game, that puts her on the hill. That makes, even if she loses this match, it'll be 2 games to 1. That'll put them at 7, and then the next player only has to get 1.
I think we're down at the moment.
At that point.
I don't want to pause the match.
Only if they finish the game and you're not back up. Oh, very good.
Okay. So what we're being told by our producers is, and again, we talked a little bit about the kind of the technology change between the YouTube channel and the Facebook Live. Facebook Live has been great, except for the fact that after a certain amount of time, it will drop the stream and end it. So we are down momentarily. However, for archive purposes, the match, once it is posted to YouTube, will continue to carry the action. So we will carry on. And again, we have Charles Bruno from the Make It Work team at the table.
Nice shot.
There's that shot off the 8 in the side.
Although I'm not sure that's where he wanted the 8 ball to move. Well, maybe not.
He can put some reverse on this, some left spin, and have the cue ball go in and go straight up towards the 8.
Yeah.
As long as if you puts enough spin on it, it should go. No, he's not going to take any chances.
Oh, you missed that.
Bring Gina back to the table. She chalks up her cue. I don't believe, have we seen the Evansville team take a timeout at all with her?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No.
I don't either, so they're just saving it for the right moment.
There you go,
Nice
Ava. That
job
was the
there.
shot you were
There you
talking
go.
about
Off of the
earlier.
5 ball, past the 1.
Doesn't hurt to have a little helper there by the pocket.
Mm-hmm. It's like the last time I went bowling. We had the niece and the nephew, and I decided to play on their lanes. I could do better with the bumpers up.
All of a sudden, you were like a 220 bowler, weren't you? All right. Well, the double kiss saved her from scratching there. But it was a nice little safety here.
That's the luck of, instead of the luck of the Irish, the luck of the twos.
That's
Yeah.
right. He's shaking his head a little bit, going, yeah, that figures.
And that's got to be challenging for a higher skilled player. I mean, that's something that, they're used to kind of a certain
Yeah. You just got to
level
be
of opponent.
patient, and I say this all the time too. Obviously, if you are a 2, maybe even a 3, do what you can out there, because you're not going to, break and run out or play always the smartest shot. But you got to play what the table gives you. So I don't care if you're a 6 and you feel like, oh, I'm just playing a 2. It doesn't work that way. You're playing the table.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. He didn't leave her too awfully much.
Not a 3 ball on the side. She does have that.
Well, she's got a pretty, she has a pretty good eye, or at least she did earlier on a side rail shot.
No, she doesn't like the side pockets at all. She's going for the 6 ball. That's pretty common though. Most beginners do not like side pockets. Looks like it's going to try to kick this in here, go right behind it, and see if he can make the 14 on
Oh,
the side.
he does.
Try.
Well, and he gets
Well. Oh.
so close.
15 still got tied up there, so he has some work to do.
Gina will return to the table. Again, Gina, skill level 2, currently down 3-0, but needs only 2 games, and more importantly, needs only 1 to secure a point for her team here. Her team currently leading 6-2. As the 2 ball falls in the corner.
Well, Gina's got a shot at the 1 ball here or a combination.
Ooh.
Surprised
She's
she's
gonna
taking
go
the
for the combo.
combination.
Oh.
Well, what I've found too, that a lot of the lower skill level don't see the degree of
Well,
difficulty
no.
when it comes to combinations and bank shots. They look at that as easier. So I can't tell you how many times a 2 will fire a bank in that a 6 may not shoot.
Well, look at that lead.
Nothing wrong with the lead.
Way different, though, if she'd have taken the 1 ball.
Are you a little surprised, though, that they have not used a timeout to kind of
Yeah.
redirect her in certain
Yeah.
situations? Maybe, again, they're waiting for that pivotal moment. But
I don't feel that that team has taken too many timeouts, period. for
right,
anyone.
right. And we are now back live for the Facebook folks. We do apologize. Some of the limitations of Facebook Live means after your broadcast reaches a certain duration, it drops. So we do apologize for the technical difficulties. We are still in the fourth match here. The APA World Pool Championships finals coverage of the 8-Ball Championship. So again, we do apologize for some of the technical difficulties. The good news is you didn't miss a whole lot. Alright, we're still Charles Bruno of the Make It Work team still leading 3-0 over Gina Payne. And still in the fourth match here. Seeing Jeanna at the table, lining up on the 6 ball.
And Gina is now in that position where, yeah, she has to actually almost run out because the situation for Charles now, he's moved all his balls over into that corner pocket where it should be very, very attainable for him to run these balls and run. And then obviously the 8-ball is clear to be made in either one of the corner pockets. So.
Well, we're glad to see all you folks out there in Facebook land. Are happy that we're back. It's good to know that
you were
all the
missed.
nice comments. Yeah, it's nice to be missed. So again, we do apologize for some of the technical difficulties. That is one of the limitations of the Facebook Live is the length of a broadcast. But we are now back. Again, you're watching live coverage. The APA World 8-Ball Championship. At the table is Charles Bruno, pocketing the 8-ball, now with 4 wins, needing only 2 more to secure the match. This is essentially now a 2-2 race for these players. Gina Payne, skill level 2, still needing 2 games. Pretty impressive performance thus far from Charles, knowing too that his team desperately needs him, if possible, to come out with a shutout here.
Right.
So that would set up an incredible finale, I think. Still a couple games to go.
Well, and for everyone who rejoined or is in the process of rejoining us, we are taping this, and the tape is I started to say
uninterrupted.
Uninterrupted. I started
right.
to say unedited as I look at Ava,
Yeah.
and there's no editing taking place.
Right.
But it'll be going on YouTube Live, YouTube over the course of the next 24 hours. And although there really wasn't much missed, it was quite a bit of time. It felt like that we were down.
Yeah.
But it was the same game.
Match hasn't changed a whole lot. Charles still playing very strong. Now needing just 2 more victories here in this 4th match. Although I'm sure he had, like I said, I think he's got his eye on the potential shutout here and the 3 points that would mean for the team of Make It Work, which would be huge. They currently trail 6-2, so
And
a
of course,
3-point swing here would set up a pretty impressive finale for us.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, he knows how important that is. He's showing due respect to the situation and to her as well, because he's playing very smart and very, very patient, as opposed to going for a bunch of crazy situation shots and just playing the game the way it's supposed to be, because he knows the value of that 3-0. That still slid in there. Good position on the 1. It's got some work to do though. That 3 is covered pretty well by the 10 and the 9 at the other side of the table, so this is not going to be necessarily a quick run out here, but and you had a birthday out here, huh? Renee?
I did yesterday.
I mean, how many years have you been coming out here? And it's always at your birthday, isn't it? Every year.
24 25 years we've been in Vegas.
Wow.
And 24 of them, well, no, actually, all 25 of them have in some way, shape, or form touched my birthday.
Your birthday,
Either the
that's-
beginning of setup or beginning of the tournament or the end of the tournament. And, but we did manage to get away for a couple of hours last night once things kind of calmed down here.
Great. What's good? It's one good thing. Your staff and your friends that are out here are not going to forget your birthday because everybody knows it's out here. I mean, while you're out here at some point.
Mhm. That is true.
And what better place to celebrate your birthday than at the World Championship and you're in Vegas? As opposed to, no offense, but maybe Cleveland, Ohio. Sorry to everybody in Cleveland, Ohio. I know it's fun there. I do enjoy Cleveland, Ohio. That was just an expression.
We could just pick on St.
But
Louis.
you know what I'm saying. Yeah, we can say St. Louis then.
My hometown. We'll just pick on them just because that's where I live. Better than being at home.
Yeah, that's right. I like her composure. She doesn't she doesn't have that terrified look to her or a give up look, anything like that. She is. And then she does that. Great shot. 2 for 1.
And looking at her face, it's probably what she was thinking. Oh, I'll take that.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember so many times looking at my opponent going, sorry, I'll take that.
Right.
That makes up for all those ones that I missed straight in.
She could possibly, overcut it a little too much. I was going to say she could possibly make that off the 3. I don't know if there was enough room, but... And again, 1 point by Gianna would be huge here. Absolutely huge.
And Charles is intently looking at the table to keep that from happening.
Yeah. We still have a really good crowd here, and we have some people leave for dinner, and we have people going to shows, and we also have some people trying to hurry up and get to the red eye, leaving back at home again.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I know there were a bunch of people departing today to get back home.
Yeah, I'm taking that lovely 12:45 in the morning, 12:45 in the morning red eye.
Ooh, you do a lot of red eyes though, don't you? You travel a lot of places.
Yes, and every time I take the red eye, I say I'll never do that again, and then I do it again every time. So
I think I did that last year. For some reason, I decided I wanted to be home at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I got home at 8 o'clock in the morning. But the rest of my day was pretty much
shot. Yeah,
I laid on the couch with my dogs.
See, well, isn't that nice?
I do miss the pups.
You have 2 now?
I have a big girl and a little one. I have a 85-pound sheepdog.
Oh, wow.
And an 8-pound Maltese. And the big girl is really in charge, but she lets the little one. Whoa, that was
good shot.
That almost seemed like it ringed the pocket.
Yeah, it did.
But yeah, the little one sits up underneath the big one, yapping, and Maggie, bless her heart, just looks at her and just shakes her head.
Yeah, sure. All right, not that much to shoot at here.
Mm-mm.
She wants to leave the 12. She's going to leave that. What
Is she
happened
just
here?
asked
Oh,
for help?
timeout. Yep, there's going to be a timeout here. And this is the first timeout, I believe, that we have seen. I believe the hype was going to see her make it work.
I think that's her first time out in the whole match.
I believe so. And the way the rule is, when one team takes their 1 timeout, actually she gets 2 timeouts because she's a skill level 2. And the other team also gets to take a timeout and talk a little bit. As soon as the team that took the timeout is finished, then the other team has to give up their time discussing the shot as well. So yeah.
Okay, what I miss? What I miss? Just kidding.
We can't tell you. You'll have to watch it on YouTube when you get home. We talked about you the whole time.
Okay. Well, it's tough when these long matches, though. I went to stand up real quick, and
Your
wow, my
knees.
legs felt like they didn't want to
I
function
know.
for me.
I
So
know.
Oh.
All right. No harm down there. She didn't leave much of a shot here for Charles.
it's like most of our audience has returned, or is continuing to return.
Oh, our Facebook Live audience.
Mhm.
Yes. Ava and I were just talking about the fact that our viewing audience here live is dwindling a little bit, but that's because of dinners and shows and
Some
those
cases
people,
flights, right?
flights
Yeah.
going to the airport.
Let's see here if he tries to play a defensive shot, or if he goes for the bank.
Oh.
Yeah, and went for it. Jeanna still has a tough way to go here. Obviously that 10 ball is the one that's makeable, but there's no way to get to any other shots. But
This
and
is
I don't see a
interesting.
defensive shot. The fact that the 5 is just hanging right there.
So some folks asking about timeouts, but I think, and Renee, you can correct me if I'm wrong, at this level, right? So in league play, yes, Gina would be able to get 2 timeouts per game, but at this level in the tournament,
No, she's
Is it
just
one
get level
timeout?
2. She
does
gets
she
2.
still get 2?
I think so.
Yeah. 3s get 1 and 2s get 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Even in the finals at this level.
Where'd it come?
Good try.
And that'll bring Charles back to the table.
Yeah, I would think they get 2. I mean, in regular league play, 3s get 2. 3s get 2 timeouts, but in
Mhm.
higher level tournament they get 1.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe 2s, I'm almost positive that 2s get 2 timeouts.
Well, you know, I used.
Kevin's going to settle our bet here momentarily. As he
Can you believe the 3 of
talks
us? We
to the
don't
floor
know.
manager.
But I know that's how we played in
There-
our higher level tournament at home also, is that all league, you know, during but the 2s still do get 2 timeouts. Same thing in 9 ball, the
yeah,
1s
definitely
get 2.
in local league they do. I'm just not sure when we get into the higher level tournament.
I was kind of struggling with that one myself.
Yeah, because
but
3s are the ones that are the different ones. 3s during league play get 2 timeouts, but higher level tournament 3s get 1 timeout. Or 2s and 9 ball, same thing. Here we go, getting on the hill
There it
here.
is.
Charles secured at least 1
Charles
point there for sure.
Has 5 wins, 5 of the 6 wins needed. He is now on the hill. Okay, so yeah, we did get clarification. The higher level tournament, it's 1 timeout per game, regardless of skill level. So
And here at the throughout this entire tournament.
yes.
Well, that's news. All right.
I
Skill
just
level
want to point
2?
out that I was right.
Yes, and I
Okay.
apologize.
Okay.
That's how we play it locally. Is the 2s still get
Sure,
2
sure,
timeout
yeah,
locally, but
right.
I guess here in Vegas, the 2s still get just 1 timeout. My bad.
Well, I'm
I
guessing part
learn
of that
something
is
every
the
day.
time constraints
It's-
of the event. I mean, you can see we started this particular final at about 4 o'clock Pacific time. We're now 4 hours, 25 minutes in, potentially with another full match ahead. So
But we also do time
Yeah.
clock at our
That's
local
true.
championship all the way through.
So this is Charles Bruno coming to the table. Important game potentially for him. Wins this game. Not only does he win the match, but he will have shut out his opponent, which will mean 3 points. Would pull his team to within just 1 team point.
Good break there.
Careful.
Great break.
But he does scratch. He
Yep.
pockets, it looks like two
2, 4.
balls, but scratches.
But I do like that about our league is that how uniform our rules are, but there is a little bit of a leeway where you can have the local bylaws. We have certain rules that are a little bit flexible, but but you know that it's not overwhelming. The majority of it is you just go to the team manual; it's right there. But a few little rules we can change up in the
Yeah,
local areas.
usually has to do with awards or the qualifying structure
Not
through
the rules,
playoffs and
obviously, right.
the tri cup tournaments, end of session tournaments. Usually those are the areas where we see a lot of flexibility or differentiating between markets. You don't see that with the rules or with the handicaps or the general league structure. All of that, and we've heard from so many players as they move around the country that that's one of the nice things is that they can get plugged back into APA league play in their new community, helps them meet new people, get more, start feeling more comfortable in their new hometown.
Right, right.
Gina Payne at the table for the team from Evansville here. She's shooting solid balls or the low number balls.
Her grip is a little bit unusual. I see that a lot with beginners where you tend to put the thumb on the top of the cue stick, which is, it feels like you have more control, but you actually don't. And I think that's pretty common because I know a lot of people playing tennis when they first start out, they want to put the index finger on the racket, and a lot of that kind of, it makes you feel like you have more control of it. But it's a habit that you should try to get out of it as soon as you can. I do see that quite a bit though, that thumb up on the top of the cue. Again, I am impressed with her composure. I mean, I just think she's handling this as well as anybody could expect of her. Just really great attitude. She's doing what she knows how to do, and hope it's going to turn out.
Charles now at the table, surveying the layout of the balls. Again, he is on the hill. He's got 5 games under his belt, needs just one more, which would not only secure the 4th match for his team, but an important 3-0 shutout based on the 3-point system that we use in 8-ball. So
I just found something interesting. I was just looking down again. I just realized when I was looking at the two teams and their rosters, between the two teams, 16 players, there's not one skill level 3. Which is pretty unusual. Yeah,
it is unusual.
Well, and I mean, again, and there may have been throughout the course of the tournament, they may have started as a 3 and potentially gone up.
But there's
or
also
they may have been on the cusp of becoming a 4 before the tournament. So
there's also not 1 7 on either roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a scratch shot. She made it. She probably could have avoided the scratch there, but that changed the tangent line completely by hitting it too thick. So, but luckily for Jeanna, if you look at where the 9 is and where the 4 and 12 are tied up, he's not going to be able to run out here, I wouldn't think, with this mess of everything going on the table. So she will be getting back on the table again.
Charles with ball in hand, he's going to position the cue ball. Pockets the 9 in the corner.
Well, if he had enough angle on this 11, he could solve that 12 right now. So maybe he can run out here. We'll see.
Takes care of the 11. Turns his attention to either the 13 or what I believe is the 12 ball there.
Yep, that's the 12.
Referee's going to come take a look.
Well, it's a bit of a chance, but I mean, he could make the 13 here and go into the 2 of them. As long as he hits it firm enough, he may be able to see the 15 after that.
So he pockets the 13 and brings the cue ball all the way back down the table. Where he has the 10.
15, and you think he'll
15
drift
a little
down?
further up rail.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of area to work with, but I mean, if he can get dead straight in on either side, that's interesting. I don't know. I thought he was going to do that on the last shot when he was close enough to where he could do something with it, but now...
Yeah, I didn't quite see that coming.
He can really put some movement on the cue ball, can't he? I've seen him do that a couple times now.
I mean, one shot here is just a hit and stick. He's straight on this. You can just kind of, either hit and stick or tap it. You don't want to hit it hard, though, because you don't want to make the 8-ball fly. But, I mean, that's the shot right there. That's should be good enough for a safety. I don't think she can hit that 1 ball. It's close, but... Oh, can she? Well, we'll see. Okay, here we go. She's going to shoot at the
Timeout.
1. No, yeah.
Coach just stopped her.
Which is the second timeout then?
Yeah. I think it was in this game.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was.
No, we've moved.
Was it the last one?
Yeah, we've moved from one game to the next.
Did we?
I think so.
Good, then it's not, it's not a wrong timeout then.
Oh, I don't think they would have let that
It's
happen.
been a long day today.
A long day.
It's been a long
weeks,
10
yeah.
days.
Yeah, that's
All
right.
of a sudden, you're just kind of like, it reminds me of a time I followed a truck for so long that after 4 hours, pretty much all the way to Kansas City from St. Louis.
Oh, wow.
By the time I got to Kansas City, which was like 3.5 hours later, I'm staring at the back going, is that even spelled properly anymore? and it was. But after I don't know why, but sometimes you just go brain dead. And that may be where we're all headed.
More all the time. I'm still on Sweden time too, so it's 9-hour time difference.
yeah,
and,
That's right.
I wake up. I went to bed at 11 o'clock last night, and then woke up at about 2:15. Like, because that's what is it? That's 11:15 over there. So you still get on that same. That's my excuse. All right, well, that was a good choice. That was well coached and well executed.
Charles Bruno here at the table for the Make It Work team. Again, needing just one final game here to pick up an important 3 points.
He had hoped that 4 was going to fall there, I think.
So Gina
That's a good
returns
little
the
shot.
favor, right?
Yeah. She may have left the 15 here for Charles. I'm not sure if she can make the 15 or not. But regardless, it was a smart shot. Question is if she hit it too firm. No, I think she did. She did get him. She's holding her own here with Charles is the skill level 6 in the safety department. I like it.
pace here has seemed to slow considerably in this game, and of course, such an important game, particularly for Charles here. Not sure what's more entertaining, the play on the table or the comments that I'm reading on the Facebook Live, and they come in so fast, it's tough to
keep up with them.
Yeah.
That was close. That was a close hit, but it's up to the opponent to have somebody brought over. That was pretty clear when she started to aim that way that it could be close, so definitely goes to the shooter.
What's the score right now, Jason?
Score here is 5-0.
5-0
in favor of Charles Bruno. The thing is, Charles' team Make It Work is actually down 6-2 overall in the match. So, again, one more win here for him would mean a shutout and an important 3 points for his team.
That put him at 6-5 going into the final match.
Right.
Which means it could be anybody's game.
Yeah, and should we get to that final match, it looks like we'll see Jeremy Bruno, Charles' son, the Louisiana team, and a few different options available still for the Believe the Hype team of Evansville.
Always more difficult when you have to jack the cue up in the back like that and hit down. Not only changes your aim, it's tougher to see where you're going to aim, but also the slightest bit of spin or miss hit that you get on the cue ball is going to change everything and almost make a little mini massé shot out of it. It doesn't look like it should be that difficult, but it definitely is. All right, here we go. Nice soft touch here. See if you can go around the 8. Just float the cue ball down. I mean, around the 4 ball to get a shot at the 8. We try to draw it. Gina's still in this.
Gina's got a little bit of a fan club here.
I know.
Every time she comes to the table, some shouts of "Let's go, Gina!" Now, once again, Charles will return to the table.
He's got no choice but to kick at this, obviously. He's going to have to go to the Andreelle and try to make contact. Gina has 3 balls here. They're all kind of sort of close to a pocket. The 8 ball's not in an easy spot, though, so even if she does get an open shot, I have no doubt she can make the 3 balls if she now.
Critical error there for Charles as he fails to make contact with the 12 ball.
This is the best opportunity.
Interesting.
Gina's had hit right here.
Gina will now have ball in hand.
You know, I feel bad. Did we find out for sure if it's Gianna or Gina?
Gina.
It is Gina.
Yes.
Okay.
It does look like Gianna, though, doesn't it?
It does. I've said Gianna several times. I apologize.
That's all right. We've done much worse with some other names, particularly last names sometimes.
People have been calling me Ooey and EY.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Everything for years.
Fair play. Of course, Gina, member of the team here from Evansville, Believe the Hype. Oh, narrowly follows in the 1 ball with the cue ball, but and now she'll decide whether to take the 4 ball or the 5 ball.
You wish you still had a timeout because
Right.
you want her to shoot the 5, but
she makes the 4 ball.
I left herself a little tough here.
I would imagine at this point in the tournament, with everything at stake and the crowd and everything else, any shot at this point with that much green in between is going to be a challenge for
very
skill
much
level
so.
2.
But then again, they
she
come with
makes
those.
us eat our words.
And look at the position.
And suddenly, Gina Payne is now on the 8 ball. She's going to mark her pocket. And we'll see if she can put the 8 in the corner pocket here. She's going to have a tough shot, I believe, but a makeable one, Ava?
Oh, it's definitely makeable, but you know, if I were to coach her right now, I would say bank it. This is not an easy cut shot. But then again, 2s do the most amazing things.
Oh, narrowly
A nice
misses,
try.
Narrowly misses the 8 ball in the
Oh,
corner.
wow.
Nice round of applause.
She made a great effort there
On the
and got
attempt.
some due respect for it, too.
What a great crowd this is, kind of understanding the situation.
I like that.
What a tough task she has, and they give her a nice round of applause for such a close shot. So, nice moment here in the tournament. In fact, her teammates are going to give her a fist pump while Charles and his teammates confer as he takes a timeout. They just want to catch his breath a little bit with kind of some of the action here in this particular game.
He's getting pumped up
He
over
is getting
here.
her pumped up.
And it's not over.
Certainly
I mean,
not.
the way Charles, can play, he's an accomplished player. It should be, but it's never over till it's over.
So he pockets the 12, and now he will take his turn, attempting to pocket the 8 ball in the same corner pocket. So Charles Bruno comes up big for his team of Make It Work. The skill level 6 shuts out his opponent and gets a very important 3-point swing there. You see the team captain for Make It Work congratulating the skill level 2 Gina Payne of the Evansville team. Again, really nice show of sportsmanship. Seen a lot of that here in this particular tournament, especially as we get into the finals. I think players on each team can kind of appreciate the pressure that is on each player regardless of the team that they're on. So
yeah, it's been fun. You've seen a lot of that throughout this week. A lot of high fives for the other team.
So now we will move into the 5th and final match, and I believe we already know, at least in terms of the team Make It Work from Louisiana. I'm guessing we're looking at Jeremy Bruno, who is Charles' son, Charles being who you just saw win 6-0. The Evansville team, we do believe, has a few options, one being team captain Brian Payne. They also have Derek Bivens, both skill level 6s. They do have Derek, I'm not even going to pronounce that last name. We'll just say Derek.
Bivens?
No, Derek.
Where did you find the other? Oh, Foronda.
Foranda. Derek Foranda, skill level 5. I'm guessing we're going to see one of the 6s here, either the captain Brian Payne or Derek Bivens. And of course, now I do see Brian Payne, team captain for Believe the Hype. Alright, so folks, I'm being told by our producers that because of the kind of the restrictions of Facebook Live, we are going to bring the system down momentarily. We're going to have the players hold the match. We'll reset, and we'll come back in about 2 minutes for the 5th and final match. So we're just going to take a brief break. Stick around. We'll be right back here momentarily with the 5th and final match, the 8-Ball Championship.
Why? What are they? What happened?